Hi, this is Sandi Genovese and welcome to the Scrapbook Showgram. Today we're talking about calendars and we're actually going to make an advent calendar that's a countdown to Christmas. So if you look here, you can see that I've created it by using the three-dimensional cube and I've just stacked them in rows. So the bottom row has 7 and it's numbered 1 through 7, and then the next row has 6, then 5, and then 4, and then 3, and creating this pattern gives you the perfect exact number you need in order to reach the 25th for Christmas. You could do the same idea using just different colors to have it be a countdown for Hanukkah. You could do a countdown for Valentine's Day. I mean, it's a fun thing. Basically, inside each of these little cubes, let me open one up, you're going to have either little toys, little candies. Let's say if I wanted to attach this jingle bell to a ribbon, this could be a fun little ribbon necklace for my niece. She would love that. I'll go ahead and I'll tuck that jingle bell inside. What I like about this is now this is going to make a sound every time I move this around. Maybe. In order to create this, you need to start with cubes. So what we've done is I've cut, I'll bring these up and show you, I've cut all of the different, you need 25 different cubes, and I've cut them, as I said, out of red, 2 shades of green, and white. You're going to be able, we'll give you a pattern on the website and you can print this out. It will allow you to cluster 4 cubes onto one 8.5 by 11 sheet of paper, and if you're using 12 by 12 paper, you'll even get more than the 4. So you're going to be able to cut several out of one sheet. So this isn't actually going to take as much paper as you would think. But if you want to recycle, a friend of mine a couple of years ago made this using her old Christmas cards. So she cut the 3D cube out of the Christmas cards and then assembled them, and her kids, this has been well used. This has been played with a lot, but still held up pretty well. The thickness of a Christmas card is perfect for cutting this out. Once you've used the pattern to cut out the cubes, then you want to put it together. So on the pattern, when you look at it closely, you'll see that I've used the black lines for the cuts and I've used red dotted lines for the scores. So you want to transfer all of the score lines, and that's what I'm doing right now. I'm folding on every one of these score lines where I've already creased them. So once you fold it on all of the creases, then all it takes is just a little bit of adhesive on this one tab on the end, on the outside, and then I'm going to close that over, layer this side right over the top and press it down, and that's going to be all that you need in order to fasten this cube together. The rest is really just done by folding. So at this point, what I'm going to do is I'm going to close up one end of the cube. And the reason that I'm going to leave the top open, as you close, if I close the whole thing up and then I try to start layering, putting them all together, it really starts to get confusing which is the top. And I found that I had to keep opening it. So I discovered that it's easiest to leave the top open the whole time I'm building it. What I'm going to do, here you can see I've already created several of the other colors, and I'm going to show you in order to attach them. I'm going to put adhesive on what would be the side. So I'll put adhesive there. If you have glue dots, that's a nice strong adhesive. You could use that as well. But I just want a nice bond. So I'm going to fasten the adhesive to the cube, and then by putting my fingers inside, I'm going to attach the red one, in this case to the deeper green, and I'm going to lay them down to get them so that they're nice and flush with each other, and then I'm just using my fingers to really pinch and get them nicely stuck together. Then I'm going to go ahead and I'll use a little bit of adhesive. You're going to want to use more adhesive like I did on the first one, but to make this go a little faster, I'm going to just see if I can get this to stay together long enough for me to attach one row. And in order for it not to take too long, let me even do one of the middle rows that doesn't have quite as many cubes in it. Here I'm attaching the next color. Having the lid open makes it so much easier to make sure that you're attaching these so that all the lids are facing up. So once you have those all stuck together. This is going to be the third row. I'm going to want to attach this. You can see, let me bring this over here and show you how I've already started this. And notice I've even got one open on the bottom row and all of them open on the second row, just so you can see. I've already gone ahead and I've done the bottom row. I've attached the second row, but it occurred to me you really should see how easy the rows go together. This one is going to get attached like so. And in order to do that, you can see that I need to put my adhesive right along this front. So I'm going to take a longer piece of the same double stick tape, and I am just using one. You could put a few strips if you want. This is really going to help it really stay together. And I'm going to turn this then, and I'm going to just eyeball, I'm going to attach it here when I'm going to overlap right in the middle of these. So I'm going to lay this down, and when it looks like it's pretty even in terms of overlapping, how much it overlaps on each end, I'm going to press it. I'll bring it down, and then I'm going to reach inside and do the same thing. Use my fingers in order to really get in there and hold these all together. Once you do this, you can see that I've now created the bottom row and the second row and the third row. All I need to do, if I bring this back over, you'll see that's the first 3 rows. I just need to do 2 more, and they're shorter rows, a row of 4 and then a row of 3, and that would complete it. It is going to stay together even in this stage, but the ribbon is a nice touch to finish it off. Plus it also helps over the years for it to really stay together and hold all those layers together nicely. When I bring this up, you can see here's how I decorated this. I don't know if I remembered to show you the back. This is how it looked when I just had the plain colors. So I wanted obviously to label each day of the week, and so I thought, well, I could do stickers, and you can do stickers. However, it's going to take a lot of 1s and a lot of 2s. So you'll need a multiple, you'll need several sticker sheets, because usually you won't get the number of 1s or the number of 2s that you need in order to do the numbers 1 through 25. What I used was the Sizzix Eclipse, which is an electronic cutter, and it allowed me to cut out, to just program in how many 1s I needed, how many of every number I needed, plus what font and what size I wanted the font. All of those things were choices, which made it really worth it for me. What I also did was I ran my paper through the Xyron machine first, so that all of my letters, all of my numbers came out with adhesive on the back, which made it so easy to just peel off the backing and stick them down. Once I got all of the numbers, I realized it was going to be fine for all of the colors, but when I went to put a number on the white, obviously I was going to need to color them. Well, that was fine. I used cardstock. I could go back and I could color any of the numbers red or green or black or whatever color I wanted. But when I looked at how busy it was just with the numbers that I had already used, I actually liked it better when I went and I added just embellishments. So I've used these stickers that you can see on this sheet. I've used them, I'll bring this down so you can kind of see it together, in order to highlight all of the white cubes. And since none of the white cubes are together, there's never 2 whites together, it's really easy to figure out that this obviously should be a 1, this should be a 4, this should be a 12. It's your kids, it just makes the puzzle a little more fun, but definitely not too difficult. And of course, you can do whatever you prefer in order to get each of these labeled. And then it's just a question of opening them up in order to put some fun little piece of candy, some little toy, some little fun thing. If you have scrapbooking friends, if you have enough brads and other fun little things, this would be a great thing to give your scrapbooking friends as well. A 3D paper cube, it's so versatile. It's the perfect building block for an advent calendar.